Why, hello.
Matthew Arnold, the AKA ImBlackYall. You started off as the nemesis or pseudo nemesis of Dominique, the helpful hand. Now you've come back. You became a captain.
That I
Then
did.
in Judgment 3, you
In
made it to
Judgment.
the finals, and
Yep.
now in Judgment 4, you are the winner. You've entered the Hall of Fame. How do you feel?
I'm very accomplished right now. I feel very accomplished.
Are you going to Disneyland?
I wish. I wish.
So
I
so
didn't
how
have work tomorrow. I might. Might.
so tell us about your team. How did you feel? How did game one go? Two, three. How did the early? Because we didn't see game one. How did game
Game
one
one,
go?
it was just like a walk in the park. It really was. Like, we just did whatever we wanted, had our ways. They ended up surrendering at like 23 minutes, and it was just really easy first game.
Who'd you play round one?
Round
PG.
one played PG.
Oh, okay.
Creepy,
Interesting. I,
creepy
I,
dose.
I really wanted to see the Wizfujin Otter match, or the Wizfujin versus Otter in the bot lane. But
Otter destroyed him. They turret over him really hard because we had All-Star. Sanctified played All-Star those first two matches, and they were just able to turret dive and just destroy him.
did he end up playing Varus? I know Wizfujin is pretty fond of Varus.
So he played. Who did he play? I can't remember who he played.
So would you say having like a top AD player and a top support player is really beneficial to winning League of Legends games? In Judgment, especially.
In Judgment, definitely. I mean, the 80s was going to carry you late game, not top lane, not mid, because they're the ones that can maneuver more. They're in the back of the fights. So, um, definitely having the bet. That's 80. That's my whole strategy. Is always pick a top tier 80. Like last time I had Wiz as my 80. The time before that I had Dexter. So I always try to go after it the best 80 I can get, or whoever I think is the best 80 out there. That's the first person I go after is an 80, and then good support to back them up as well. Because if you have a just kind of wishy-washy or last pick support, like, oh, I don't really need support kind of thing, your 80 is going to have a harder time trying to farm, and they can't really zone as well. Whereas Sanctifies, he plays with a lot of that's all he plays is support. So he knows how to zone, he knows how to ward especially, and it just made it so Otter was able to free farm. Like in the last game, he had so many creeps on TK Rain.
Yeah, and I was looking at like the overall elo, even though you had the highest elo pick, with the first pick, but that also comes at the cost of taking like a last pick that doesn't have elo. Your team average elo wasn't the highest by any means. I
Oh,
know there has been judgments in the past for like, oh, the two highest elo teams, average elo teams, met in the finals, but in this situation, that wasn't the case. I think that last game. I think it could have gone anyway. I think the team's TK Rain was real. The TK Rain team was really
that was their
strong.
hardest match, was that against TK Rain,
And
because they had a solid 80 bot in TK Rain, and they also had Bosco mid, so they had two solid carries that they could rely on, like top tier players there.
your
Whereas
jungle Kale was not so strong.
hey, I didn't have to gank because my lanes were awesome. I mean, Malphite kind of did get destroyed top lane against Kennen, but Kennen's not going to carry a team.
That's true. That's true. I agree with that.
I mean, it was more of, hey, I'm going to play Kale because it will give us more damage late game because we have a Malphite top. And then on top of that, we'll have that ult to put on Tristana on Otter, so we'll be able to stay alive. Which I missed that a couple times and he died, but that's beside the point.
So, another question for you. Have you been playing a lot lately? Has Diablo 3 had any impact on your game? I mean, I know the last Judgment was just like the week right after Diablo 3, and I know there are still some people playing Diablo 3. What are your thoughts on that?
I honestly haven't been playing a lot because I got a job now, so I don't have much time to play. Working 410s, so my only time to play is really like on the weekends. But weekends have been busy with my sister graduated from high school. Got a wedding next week. This Saturday, and like the following Saturday, I have something going on. So it's just like on and on. Like have something going on my days off. So I don't only maybe play like maybe 5 or 6 games a week.
Oh, okay. So really, well, congratulations to you. We now need to know who would be your MVP of this tournament from your
MVP.
team. Yeah.
All right, so it's definitely going to be a toss-up between Sanctified and Otter because those guys basically won the game for us. But I'm gonna have to go with Sanctified, even though Otter was amazing. He got all these kills and stuff. He couldn't have done it without Sanctified.
I think there might be some sort of bribery in here, but you know what? I'm liking it. So,
Bribery? How so?
I don't know. Congratulations to Jordan, Sanctified. He was down at MLG with you, Callan, and I know he came back and said he wanted to be playing a lot more. I know I had a chance to duo queue with him, and he like instantly like lost all want to play. He kind of just gave up. I said, you know what, I'm done with this game.
Well,
But
I think it's funny because you get in that environment, you see all these great players, and you go like, I could play with them, and then you go and you play with people that aren't that caliber, and like what you've been expecting, you see the pinnacle of League of Legends, what it can be, and then you enter the cesspool that is like solo queue and such, and then you go, oh, I actually don't want to play this. But I mean, what I say to him is he's obviously very talented. I think he deserves it. I think a lot of players, even someone was pointing out, that when ImBlackYall's team was really good with Fujin, it was because I believe wasn't Sanctified your support then too.
Yes, he was my support
And
last.
I would
last
say to
session, too.
Dexter, a lot of people have passed up on. So what's weird to me is after Judgment 1, after the Dexter Sanctified,
Yeah, he won.
victory.
Sanctified won Judgment 1
Yeah.
with
After that,
support.
he got picked like 9th overall, and then after that tournament, he got picked like, I don't know, like 20, like something
was-
way
like
down the line.
so
This
it was-
tournament, he was late picked. Like the fact that you got him coming
Yeah,
off.
he was my third
like,
pick, and I was team number 3, and he was my third pick.
Yeah, so
he-
amazing pickup for you, and I think because Dexter said I'm sorry, and so he wanted to go for like the bigger
Yeah.
guns, if you will, and it didn't
Yeah,
pay
he's
off
like,
for him. He
he's like,
lost round
Jordan's
1.
gonna be mad because I didn't pick him here. And I was like, please don't pick him.
I
Please
was
don't
like,
pick
you're
him.
gonna be mad because you're not gonna win Judgment 4. So yeah, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions, any feedback for us here, the casters and the admins, or any other teams or players?
I'm not sure. Listen to high elo players when they're trying to give you instruction, because Otter called probably 3/4, if not more, of our game as far as what to do. Like I'd throw out an idea and say, hey, should we do this? Should we do this? And I'd be like, yeah, that's a good idea. That's not a good idea, kind of thing. So when you play with high caliber players like that, definitely ask them questions. Don't just say, hey, this is what I'm going to do, and run off and do your own thing. Listen to them when they say, hey, we need to be doing this. Don't just try to run off and do your own thing.
Hey, that's excellent
Good
advice.
And
Go ahead.
It's cool that Judgment, is kind of like this venue where I mean, I know Otter and you can play with them outside of it, but for a lot of people that like don't even know Otter, they've never met him before, the fact that you can come in here and get advice or have that experience where you can play with someone of that high caliber and kind of learn the game that way, I think is pretty beneficial and cool thing. I'm glad you brought up that point.
Yeah, anytime. Well, I mean, it's one of those things that when you go out to the lane event, I met Otter at the lane event at Game Breakers, like playing with him and Kabam and stuff. That's where I met all those guys at. It wasn't just, oh, hey, all of a sudden I just played with them in Judgment kind of thing. It's you go out to the lane events, you'll meet these high level people, you'll talk to them in real life, and then from there, it means you play with them online and stuff. And when you come to and do Judgment and stuff like that, you have an idea of, hey, these is what these players are good at. That's where like the first half of the draft and stuff, all those top players are people that go out to LAN events and they know how to play with it. That's where they're all the first picks to go off, not just because they're the highest elo, because people play with them all the time at the LAN events online.
Yeah, and speaking
great
of
point.
live LAN events, again, check out the live Judgment. We will be doing it live coming up here very, very shortly. I will post again the event link. I believe I still have it up here.
Yeah, and we have to make a decision by Friday. So we need to get those signups. I'm going to be personally emailing or Facebooking everybody, like who's come out to our events, be like, hey, are you still interested in this? Can we get you to sign up? If we can't get the signups, we're just we'll probably have to cancel it. Don't want to do that because I think this is going to be an amazing event. Again, it's also an opportunity for players to meet each other, and we want to show our love and support for Shandor, the owner of Game Breakers, down in Auburn, and for being a wonderful venue and giving us an opportunity. Plus, big news and big tournament coming up. The Seattle versus end of Summerland is going to be in September. It's at the end of September. It won't be quite as big as PAX or MLG, but if you want to think about it in a way, it's kind of going to be like a mini MLG. We've got tons and tons of space. We've got a huge venue in Seattle that we're going to be doing a real big event. Yeah, big prizes. I think we're gonna get a lot of Riot support, like even maybe some like Riot employees and stuff coming up. Like no promises yet because I don't know all the details, but it's gonna be big.
Yeah, you guys
We
definitely want to keep your eye on this because the thing is, like, not only will there be tons of stuff to do as far as fighting games and League of Legends events and even StarCraft 2, but just for being a participant in there, like, I think we're gonna have something around like over $10,000 in swag that you can just win for
yeah
participating.
yeah raffle stuff.
Yes, and to chances are, like, most people are gonna walk away with stuff. So it's definitely something really, really cool to look forward to. Sale versus end of summer LAN event. Again, I think I can post a link to that too while I'm at it. But again, I would continue.
Yeah, there's gonna be a couple links for that. I mean, if you're into fighting games, if you're into StarCraft and League of Legends, that is like that's it. It's gonna be like a mini MLG. Obviously, we don't have the budget to put on MLG, but if you're local to Seattle and after PAX you're interested for something, we have some ideas for how we're gonna run the event. We're pretty sure we wanted to run like some really nifty, cool judgment format where we actually run a bunch of judgments with a that end up being qualifiers. We don't know if that's going to be the final format yet. It may end up being your typical like 16 team 5v5. But big prizes, lots of cash prizes, $10,000 in giveaways, keyboards, headsets, monitors. I mean, you name it. That's the type of event. And if you've been to Game Breakers and you met Shandor, he'll tell you even more about it.
Yeah, he's definitely a really cool guy. When I went down to the Game Breaker, she's just like, "Oh yeah, here's where you can set up at. Go ahead. Do you need more room? Anything like that?" Very courteous as far as, "Hey, you can use my space, but don't just like here's everything" kind of thing.
Yeah, and the thing about Shader too is like the reason we want. I mean, the reason we're working with him currently, the reason we support him so much, and we want to run these events is not he's really involved in growing. He genuinely wants to grow the community. Like it's not entirely a business thing. It's just really like he loves the community. He's been involved in the fighting game community a lot for a long time, and he really wants to. And it's not just that he wants to take over control of thing. He recognizes that hey, this is your guys' community, and he wants to give us the tools for it to grow. So again, this is a great person to go out there and support. So can't talk enough about him. End of summer LAN event, which will be at the end of September after PAX. So after you're off that high from that North American National Championship that we have at PAX, or possibly the Dota 2 thing. You can hit us up there. It's gonna be awesome. Again, $10,000 in prizes just raffled off on top of all the prizes that we'll have just for winning events. And then of course, very shortly in the next coming weekend, we will actually have the Judgment Live event. So please go to that event, the first Facebook event. If you can make it, sign up. Let us know that you're coming so we can make sure that we have enough people and we can go forward with the event. Again, it's going to be really cool. We have 5 Plantronic headsets, cash money, and Riot points on the line for the winners. Plus, second through third, fourth, they're going to get Riot points, all this good jazz too. It'll be a fun time. It's worth your time.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really excited. I hope we get enough people out to that. I mean, I don't see a whole lot of people signed up for it yet. Some people are like, "Oh, I have work" or something like that. But still, I mean, or I live at that such and such distant away. I mean,
I will tell you right
even
now, if you don't have a car and you live in the Seattle area, I will come and pick you up. I have a big expedition. I will pick you up and drive you to this event. If driving to the event is the only thing stopping you, let me know where you live. I'll be the taxi man and I'll pick up. I can pick up like 7 people. I'll make it happen.
Yeah,
Because
totally.
I really want this event to happen.
yeah, well, even like for the people in Portland and stuff like that. I mean, take the train up here. I mean, it's not that expensive for a train or for the train or anything like that. I mean, if you get up to the
Well,
trains. I mean,
Portland's a trip.
but still, I mean, if you have to take a train, I mean, you can always get one of us to pick you up at the train station or something like that to bring you to the event. So.
Well, cool. I'm so excited. Judgment 4 was a success. We really appreciate everybody participating in the contest, watching the matches. If you ever need to hit us up at Highland, RYW Pato, RYW Pato, just hit us up in game, play some games with us. Hit us up on our Facebook. Don't forget to join Northwest League of Legends because that's where we post a lot of the events and the streams, and you'll meet a lot of cool people there for the Pacific Northwest. I don't think I have anything else. I think thanks again for everybody that tuned in.
Yeah, thanks to all our casters, GG Chronicle, Forecourt Jester coming and casting for us. Thanks to Hey Kelso for being on the chat for us, doing an awesome job. I'm sure all you chat people have a lot of love for her. So type your little hearts for her if you can right now. It'd be great. And then anyways, thank you, thanks God again. Congratulations to ImBlackYall, champ.
Thank you.
and I guess I'll be giving Sanctified $10 in RP for being an awesome boss.
You can't win without support.
True story.
That's
I
cool.
mean, if you go back and watch our game 1, he had an amazing where we got our first kills. So it was actually first blood and everything. He had an amazing save. Otter lived with like 50 HP, and All Star just came in and just saved him, and we ended up getting 3 kills out of it, and then Dragon.
Nice.
So it was an awesome save by him.
Could have basically saved, one game 1. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, I mean, that was the turning point of the game when we got those 3 kills and the Dragon right at around 11 minutes. And Otter lived; they didn't get any kills, and then from there it was all downhill from there.
And also to point out any of the Reddit, any people for the Reddit stream that came from Reddit, I will be picking someone randomly. Sometime tonight, you will get a PM on Reddit that will give you instructions on how to redeem your code. So hang tight. We'll announce that as well. But we're just gonna sign off here. And again, thanks for everybody involved. Again, can't say enough. There's always fun events for us to do.
Totally. And look forward to Judgment 5, which will be in 2 weeks, and then Judgment Vancouver should be next week, and then we have Judgment Live 10 days if we get enough players. Thanks, everybody. I'm out. Highwind.